been a lot of stuff on this today. How KG said that the players from 20 years ago would struggle because you have to run up and down the court and shoot threes. And 20 years ago, they wasn't doing that. So to me, you have to be very conditioned to run up and down the floor shooting threes. I was listening to Chris Bouchard and Rob Parker. They were saying how the players from 20 years ago would basically adjust because how the game is played now, they would grow up playing that way. But they were saying that players today could not play in the 80s, which I mean that doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you say that players from 20 years ago could play today, be perfectly fine, but bigger, stronger, faster guys today could not play because of somebody's going to foul them? If you grow up getting fouled hard, you just gotta adjust to that as well. That's easier to adjust than run up and down a court shooting threes. So you mean to tell me it's harder to get fouled because somebody is slower than to shoot from half court? All right, it just don't make any sense. You can go ahead and take this. This frustrates me.
Yeah, they romanticize over their era of basketball all the time.
They're hypocrites. That's the
It,
problem.
yeah,
They're
it's kind of
hypocrites.
sad that the game can't evolve, and everyone kind of takes a positive approach to the evolution. Everything evolves, so for them to constantly bash the new era of basketball and the way basketball is
Um,
played now,
every day.
it makes them look delusional, because it's like you have a guy like Joel Embiid that has the same size, and is more athletic, and can shoot threes and things like that, over someone like Patrick Ewing. Is like, how can you even compare the two? Like, yes, Patrick Ewing was dominant in his
Yeah.
era because of the way the game was played, but now,
Mhm.
I mean, do you think Patrick Ewing will be able to guard Joel Embiid? If Joel Embiid could bring the ball up the floor, do you really
But
think Patrick
you know
Ewing
what?
could keep up with him?
I saw Joel Embiid pump fake Anthony Davis, drive to hold a dunk at the 3 point line. I have never
Exactly.
seen Patrick Ewing do that. I don't think he could handle the ball that far from the 3 point line to the basket to do that. So just to say that Joel Embiid would not make it in 1980s when he's 7'2", he's not a small guy. He's a pretty big guy. He would not make
Hmm.
it because someone will
Hmm.
foul him. Yeah, I feel sorry for the person trying to foul him because the next time down the floor, this big dude is going to foul you 100 times harder, and you will not foul him again. Just like they say LeBron wouldn't make
But
it in the
the
80s.
thing is,
Mhm.
but the thing is too, B Lee, is they talk about all these fouls, but they're forgetting the fact that, yeah, with fouls come free throws, and a lot of these guys are great free throw shooters. So if
Better
you
free throw shooter,
foul,
better
you know,
every.
you, yeah, you foul Joel Embiid, or you foul Anthony Davis, or they go to the line and they're knocking down the free throws. So I mean,
85% clip.
what are you really saying? Exactly. So what exactly are you saying? Like, are you saying that, are they saying that if they foul them, they're gonna break, like their bodies aren't gonna last if they're fouling them? Is that what they're saying? Or, like, I'm trying to understand why is it so good to glorify hacking? Like, that's not something that
That's not defense.
you
That's
should
why
be
they don't
proud
do it
of.
no more. They don't do it no more. It's not defense. That's why they took it out the game when Jordan started winning. Because why would you keep letting them tackle Jordan or foul Jordan? That's not playing defense. You can't guard them. You're going
It,
to get a flagrant
it's
foul.
not.
So they
Yeah.
want to go all about how Jordan made it through the 80s. He didn't. He won. He beat two teams in the 80s. Two teams in the 80s. He played 6 years in the 80s. Half his career basically in the 80s. He beat two teams in the playoffs,
Mhm.
Cleveland and the Knicks. Nobody knows that. But Michael Jordan in 6 years beat two organizations in the playoffs in 6 years. But he made it through the
Yeah, I
80s.
just wish they. I just wish. I honestly just wish they just let it go. Like, you feel like your era was great. That's fine. We understand that, but don't bash, the new school just to try to make your era seem like it was better. Because I mean, obviously this era is not catered to the Shaqs, the Barkleys, the Ewings. It's not
Right.
catered to you guys. Your era is past. This new era is catered to the fans of Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry. They're catered to the new fan. Like, just let the new fan have, let them have it, and don't go out and talk down on these players, because it's not the same. Like when Shaq criticized Donovan Mitchell, he's criticizing Rudy Gobert. It's like that type
Yeah.
of criticism from legends doesn't resonate the same with these new players as it would, with him being criticized or being dominated by Hakeem Olajuwon. It made him work harder. These new guys, they don't need that type of motivation. They have other things motivating them to be great basketball players, and it's making the older generation look bad by continuing to just bash and talk down on the new era of basketball because it's not theirs.
Yeah, like, just watching different shows today, and it just all gets back to the same thing. What Michael Jordan went through. What Michael Jordan went through. What Michael Jordan went through. You see Michael Jordan, all those people, all those players in the lane. Did you watch The Last Dance? All those players in the lane? That because they couldn't shoot like they could today. Duh. Of course they're in the lane. That's where they
Exactly.
scored their points at. That's where they scored their points at. So, thanks for tuning into Not Another Sports Show on the Blue Chippers podcast. For more content, check out our other shows and subscribe to the Blue Chippers podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Not Another Sports Show 2021 on Instagram and Twitter.